Hello, welcome to another edition of Fix It with Kronk. Well, I live in a rural area, and I recently had my driveway sealed. But one thing that the sealing contractor said I should do is make a video, because I filled the cracks in the driveway before, our asphalt driveway, before he put the top coat on. And he thought that was fantastic. So I thought I'd make a video to show how I did that. So what I did was I had an old gas grill that had a side burner. I removed the side burner and I attached legs to it just from some angle iron that I had lying around, and basically made a standalone propane powered burner. And I salvaged an old kettle that we had for ash from the fireplaces, and what we did was we made an asphalt melter from it. So I'm going to show you how we did that. So I purchased some packages of this contractor hot applied crack sealant. Got it at Lowe's, and this is 50 pounds. It's got two 25-pound blocks inside, and I'll show you what we do to melt this. So as you can see, they come packaged, two 25-pound blocks, and there's in plastic bags. But since it's filled in the box and then allowed to solidify, you have to take the bags out and melt them individually. So this is what the bag looks like when you get it out. But what I always do is I turn the block over. Then I take a utility knife and I score an X through the plastic from corner to corner, and then up about halfway up the slide of the block. So what this does is when I put this block into the pot and the plastic starts, or the asphalt starts to melt, the plastic will be able to just be pulled away, and so you're not stuck with putting the plastic, melting the plastic down as well. So our pot's already starting to steam here. We're going to put our block on it. So we're just going to put the block in there. We're going to put the lid on a little bit ajar, and we're going to get some other things ready while we proceed. Okay, some other tools you'll need, especially if you have a long driveway: a tractor with a tractor cart. And what I did here is I took an old piece of, I guess it's a drawer slide, and I took a soup can and I drilled a couple of holes in it and bolted it to the end of this rail. Now you could use angle iron or anything that you have handy, but I bent a little spout in it, and you'll see why this is an important tool in our arsenal here. I also have a propane torch purchased from Harbor Freight. It's just the torch and the hose piece, not the tank. And then I have a couple of miscellaneous tools that I just have just in case, like an old masonry trowel or a garden trowel. And be prepared to sacrifice these, because this tar does not come off, and you'd have to give up the ghost and buy a new one if that's what you do. So let's come over and see how our asphalt is doing. So yeah, it's melting nicely. Eventually that the bottom will open up even further, and then you can pull the plastic bag out. You don't want the plastic to stay in there. So I have my torch. I have make sure you have some heavy leather gloves. You should always wear closed-toed shoes and jeans. And what I typically do is I'll walk the driveway, and you can see some of the spots here where I had sealed before they put the asphalt sealer down. he was really impressed that a homeowner, I think he said I was the only homeowner who had ever done this. As a homeowner, that I went and sealed the cracks first, because in asphalt driveways, cracks are the killer. Cracks are the killer. So if you can seal them and keep your cracks sealed, it keeps the freeze-thaw cycle from opening up. You can see here's a couple of little cracks that I missed there that I'm going to seal up this time. After he put the asphalt top coat on, the spray coat, which was a hot asphalt spray, you should stay away from the latex stuff that you can buy in the home stores. That's really just paint, a type of paint that you put on top and make your driveway look pretty, but it doesn't actually maintain the health of the driveway. So you want to try and maintain the health of your driveway as long as you can, because top coating a driveway is very expensive. So I've moved my burner up into the trailer cart. Now, one thing you'll notice about my burner here is that I didn't trust the original rack to support this size and weight of pot. There's 25 pounds of asphalt in there. So I took a couple of pieces of angle iron and I just laid them in there, and that's what the pot is resting on. Another tool you want to have in your arsenal is a scraper of some sort. And it doesn't have to be a long-handled scraper like this. This is an old garden or sidewalk edger type, or ice chopper, or whatever you want to call it. I've decided to use it for this. When you pour the asphalt into the cracks, you want to smooth it in, and you need this or a wide putty knife or something like that. So this just allows me to do it without doing too much bending over. So we can see the asphalt is melting pretty nicely now. Can't quite tug the plastic off yet, so we're going to let it go a little bit longer. We have all our tools together. We have our torch for heating the cracks. We have our scoop for pouring the asphalt. We have a wire brush. Another thing that you might want to have in your arsenal is a leaf blower. If it's fall when you're doing this, you want to make sure the leaves are blown off the driveway where the cracks are. Okay, so as I said before, the cracks were all sealed. You can see a number of them are sealed, but some of them didn't actually pop out until the top coat of asphalt spray was applied. So we went down and we marked all those that look like cracks or crack wannabes. And it's a little bit of a damp day today, so I'm using my torch here. And what we're going to do is lightly heat the crack to drive off any moisture that's there. And also to warm the underlying material to make it more receptive to the hot tar we're going to put down. You can see it's bubbling. So what we'll do then is we'll take our tar, we'll fill our cup part way, and try and do this one-handed. Okay. Clean off some of the tar. Over to our crack. And we just pour it into the crack. While the tar is still hot, use your putty knife or your scraper and just kind of smooth it right into the surface. Like that. And your crack is filled. Driveway cracks after the driveway has been sealed, top sealed with the asphalt. So we're going to do another crack here with the hot asphalt. So what we do is we just pour the asphalt into the crack, and then while it's still liquid, we use a flat, could be a putty knife, Could be anything like this, something you don't mind sacrificing because you're never going to get it clean again. And you smooth the asphalt into the crack. Pretty straightforward operation. It's not difficult. If you have a long driveway, it's definitely worth doing this yourself, because a lot of driveway contractors will do this for you, but they will charge you $1 a linear foot of crack. And there we go. I'm going to do another one here where we're going to heat the crack. And we're doing this to drive off moisture and to make the aggregate that's in the macadam, in the asphalt stone driveway mix, warm, so it accepts the asphalt more readily. We're doing this on a kind of damp day, so I'm not too worried about leaves catching fire and setting the forest on fire.
Okay.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
So we pour the asphalt into the crack, and with this soup can on a angle iron, or in my case an old drawer slide, it's very, very easy to pour. And you smooth the crack in. Sometimes you can heat the flat spatula thing that you're using, and that helps the asphalt as well. And there we go.